Well, absolutely. A very important moment in Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire. So it's the annual meetings for the African Development Bank, but also looking at a number of sessions. It's all about really looking at Africa's potential in terms of a very critical institution, but to really reflect on the significance of these meetings. We're joined by Ms. Popotola, of course, a DG for the bank in Southern Africa. Of course, ma'am, thank you so much for your time and welcome to SABC News. Let's talk about the significance of these gatherings. Of course, coming at a critical time globally, even for the bank, I would imagine this is a very pivotal moment.
Yes, it is. These meetings are very, very important. We meet annually to discuss the progress that the bank has made over the past year. And this year we're looking at Africa's capital, making Africa's capital work for Africa. And also pivotal this year is also, as you know, the election of the new president.
And obviously, let's look at the support that you do give to member states. I mean, there has been a session here focusing on Zimbabwe and just your very pivotal role that you're playing in terms of supporting these member states. Take us through to that process.
So very important is that Zimbabwe is the only country in our membership that owes the bank or is an arrears to the bank. And so we decided in 2022 to support Zimbabwe with a grant of about 4 million, and we started this process bringing the government, bringing the creditors together in order for us to now try to see how we can resolve this issue that has been unresolved for over 2 decades. And I'm very pleased to announce that through the efforts of the African Development Bank, we managed to bring all the parties to the table, and there's been progress. We have 3 tracks running, one on economic, one on governance, one on land. And as you saw just a few minutes ago, we had some former farm owners who've been compensated and who spoke of being happy and also of being appreciative of the process, because this has enabled payments to be made to them after over 2 decades.
And just before we let you go, ma'am, obviously this comes in a very quite unstable global environment. And I would imagine that the bank does have a very important role to play in terms of mobilization of domestic resources in light of the geopolitical issues playing out in the world.
Yeah. So the bank is helping countries, and I think it's very important, given the circumstances, to start looking inwards. Whether it's domestic resource mobilization or whether it's trying to see how we can trade amongst each other through the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. So I think this is an opportune time for us, and as the bank, we do provide support to building that critical infrastructure on the continent, connecting countries, connecting through transmission lines, connecting power amongst countries, as well as to try and see how we can develop regional value chain that can now add value within the continent, but also, most importantly, ensure that we trade amongst each other.
Right, ma'am, thank you so much indeed for that insight. Of course, a very important moment for this continental institution, as you know that the elections will take place during the course of the week. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire.